I love great conversations. Hi, my name is Angel Jones. Thank you for joining me on 12-minute convos where I help you create a brand of your own unique, real self. Listen in as I have conversations with amazing people from all over the world. Good night, Keith Larsen. How are you going on this wonderful, beautiful night?
I'm doing all right. I'm a little surprised you're trying to set this record for podcast interviews.
Yeah. Well, so all right. So, what do you think? Do you think it's possible or not?
Sure, I think anything's possible if you want to work hard enough at it.
Yeah. So Johnny Dumas at the end of this year will be at 1,897.
Oh my God.
And I am currently at thus far we've released just over 1,300 conversations.
Wow.
So yeah, and it's really great conversations. Like the people are amazing people, just like yourself. So it's. I mean, hey, all said, Johnny Dumas goes for like 30 to 40 minutes. I'm going for an average anywhere from 12 to sometimes 15 or 17 minutes. But
right,
the people, my friend, the conversations, and the opportunity to go deep. Yeah, it's
very cool idea.
Yeah, thank you. Last year I did 1,001 in 3 months, right? I set out to do 1,500. I got to 1,000. I was a bit saddened by it, and then like now at the end of this conversation, I say something like, "In 3 months, I got to 1,001," and I wonder what happened to that guy. Like, what was he thinking?
That's funny.
Yeah, but it's definitely fueled by the energy of those who come on the conversation, just like you, Keith. So what part of the world are you in right now?
I am in the Hartford, Connecticut area on the East Coast of the United States.
All right. And which of your talents do you think that you've been operating in as responsible for us connecting?
You found me on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Don't know how we quite connected on LinkedIn, but I'm in the production industry, so I do television and film, and somehow we ended up crossing paths.
Yeah, most definitely. The people I'm searching for, podcast is the keyword. So I'm guessing your past podcast is responsible for you popping up on my radar, if you would. Beep.
Gotcha.
Beep. Yeah, even your icon looks like a radar. Your Charlton Comics movie icon here looks like a radar spinning. Now that I see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, tell me more about what you do, please.
I'm primarily an editor, although I produce and direct, and I can shoot. But I primarily am an editor, a post-production guy. And I do just about anything that I need to do to pay the bills, to be honest with you. So, and the Charlton production is a documentary that I'm co-producing about an old comic book company from this area.
Oh, sweet.
That launched a bunch of legends that invented characters at Marvel and DC. So.
Wow, sounds like fun though.
Yeah, it is. It's a lot of fun, and I'm getting to meet a lot of the guys I grew up reading. So it's kind of cool.
Wow. So who did you learn the skills necessary to do what you do?
I went to a very hands-on program at a junior college, a community college. And and I got enough experience there that I was actually working before I graduated.
Wow.
So, I never looked back, just launched right out of there and been going ever since.
And so you must be a pretty popular guy, and he's the guy who knows how to do it area, right?
Well, it's funny you say that, because it did take a good decade or so of building relationships and getting my work seen and getting my name out there. And yet now that I'm pushing 50, I didn't say that, but I'm pushing 50, and it's a tight community, so I haven't needed any demo material since 2003, 2004. Yeah, I just get hired on word of mouth now.
Yeah, it speaks to the power of a conversation, right? And who you are and what you do. Relationships.
It's all relationships. Yeah, I mean, granted, I have to know what I'm doing,
of course.
But yeah, it's relationships.
Yeah, I love it. So you've been doing this for quite a bit. You've seen the both ends of it, if you would. Why will you continue?
I don't think I'll ever retire for two reasons. One, I I just get bored when I'm home, just I can't imagine a day-to-day existence where I don't have something to stimulate me. So I think if I retire, I'll expire. So I plan on doing this as long as people will let me.
Yeah, that's intriguing. The individual I was speaking to before, Anne Nelson in Australia, she was talking about she helps people with retirement, and she said, you get to retirement and then you aren't prepared. And I love the fact that you are taking the poise, if you would, of, hey, I'm not going to retire, right? I'm going to keep going, otherwise I'll expire. Love that. Love that.
Yeah, I think I'm going to work until I can't, and whether it's in this business or just wherever, I can't be sitting at the house.
Yeah, yeah. So tell me one, or before I do that, like where's the best place for people to see your work or even acquire your services?
Probably my website. It's rklpictures.com.
Yeah, wonderful. Tell me one other thing that you've done consistently over the last 3 years.
Oh boy.
Love that audio.
Like, it's funny. When I saw your questions in advance, I didn't know how to answer that one because what I love about being self-employed and doing what I do is I'm always doing something different.
Yeah, which is
So
cool.
I don't really get into routines. If I was to say anything I've been doing consistent, it's the editing, the post-production. It's pretty much down to a methodology or a systematic way of working.
Yeah.
But other than that, I mean, job to job and client to client, it's different, and I love that.
Hmm. So how does it make you feel? The unknown, if you would.
It's a little it's a little of both scary and satisfying. I'm scared sometimes if I don't have like this week I'm very lightly booked, and that can be scary. But there's also the excitement that tomorrow the phone could ring and change my life. So day to day is, like I said, it's always different, and I kind of enjoy that.
Hmm.
I took a full-time job 2 years ago, and I got kind of it was too normal, too routine, and I got kind of bored after the 2 years. So I needed to go back to being self-employed again.
Hmm. You made the jump a second time around. Wow.
Second round, and I was lucky. I got all my old clients back.
Wow.
So yeah.
That sounds like fun. So why would you suggest someone do what you've done? That person who may be bored or who had the two sides of the coin, if you would, that they choose this side of the coin.
You gotta be mentally tough. I think you've got to be prepared to. You got to be careful with your money. Don't spend it before you got it. Put some away for a rainy day. You got to know that it's peaks and valleys, and yeah, you're gonna go through some really lean times. There are times like the holiday season or in the dead of summer where there's no work.
Yeah.
But you make up for it on the other end, and you just got to be prepared for those ebbs and flows and the peaks and valleys. And if you can do it, and it's not just the work, you've got to do your own bookkeeping, your own marketing. You got to be prepared to drop everything and run at the last minute. Sometimes you got to be willing to travel. If you're willing to do all those things, I think it's really gratifying. And it's not for everybody. It's really not. You got to be able to endure a lot of stress.
Yeah, yeah. It's definitely value for what you're doing. Like I think what's unfair is the measuring scale, if you would, that we use in life. I'll add to what you're saying. For some, yeah, money is enough, and for some, comfort of a day job is enough. A 9 to 5, whatever that looks like.
Right.
But for some, there's just more, right? And
I
yeah,
was never, even when I was in high school, I was never the guy that wanted to climb the corporate ladder and have that, the white picket fence and two cars in the driveway. And I was just always, the creative spirit inside of me just kept me restless, and
yeah,
I guess it's a little bit of creative ADD. I just can't, I need to be constantly on the move and having things changing.
Yeah, which is cool. You know, I was talking with my wife and I was saying, hey, I've never heard someone who said I'm a happy corporate worker. I'm not, I'd like, as like, that would be a great podcast if it existed, right? Like, you know, I have yet to find that person. If you are listening and you are that person, then please do contact me, because I think there's a podcast with your name on it, right? Like, definitely be great. Well, amazing audience. Sure, go ahead.
I said I'm definitely not that guy.
Amazing audience. We are live with Keith Larsen again. You could check him out at rklpictures.com. Amazing stuff going on there, I would imagine, just from what I'm seeing on his LinkedIn profile. I'll definitely check it out. Well, Keith, let's switch gears for a moment now, and let me invite you into my time machine that is surrounded with beautiful, warm, blue Caribbean water.
Oh, aren't you lucky?
Keith, what is your earliest childhood memory?
Oh my gosh. It's actually not a happy one. When I was about 2 years old, just over 2 years old, my father had installed a screen door on our back porch backward. And it was a windy day, and it blew open and smashed right through my head, went right through the glass.
Ouch.
And tore a chunk of my face off. And, you know, at the time, plastic surgery wasn't what it is. So I went through childhood with a pretty nasty scar on my left cheek. Yeah. So that's my earliest memory of anything I can go back that far.
Yeah. Ouch.
See it happen.
Yeah. So you're that age, that happens. Why do you think that memory is so clear?
Well, I think probably because, you know, it was awkward for me as a kid, especially when I got interested in girls. You know, I had this scar on my face that always kept me kind of unsure of myself, you know. As an adult, I don't care. It's hardly noticeable now. But, you know, when I was a kid, it was a big red. And everybody would always say, what happened, and draw attention to it. So I think that's probably why that memory stuck with me, and I was never able to get past that happening.
Yeah, that is intriguing.
But that's usually at 2 years old, you don't remember things like that. But I can see it in my brain.
Well, can I offer an interpretation to the thought picture you created in my mind? You ready? All right. So I think I love the fact that that your life has been positioned where you've been on the two sides of a door, and how it can look as though it's open, but one has to be very careful, if you would, of the timing of entering into that space. And that space for me looks like you're either in the corporate world or you're outside, right? You're on the doorstep, if you would. And what could look like an open space to enter, like, you realize that it took more to go through that door than it appeared to be. That is intriguing, how it connects.
Oh, you're brilliant. You must write.
I should write.
That's an amazing metaphor, and you just came up with that on the spot. That's really wow.
Yeah. Well, that's brilliant. Yeah. Thank you. If we fast forward to when you were 12 years old, what was your favorite song?
Oh, 12 years old, it was probably a Kiss song. I'm a monster Kiss fan, and if you actually saw my latest LinkedIn post, you'll see me dressed as Kiss from Halloween last week.
Yeah, I think your tongue was out, right?
No, that was not me. I was I'm the one on the other far end.
Okay.
But yeah, it had to be a Kiss song. 12, God, what year was that? I don't know.
Yeah, what's the first song that pops in your mind?
Probably Detroit Rock City.
So it's all cool. Yeah, it's all cool. All right. We have now arrived at our destination, but before we get off of this time machine, there's a small declaration form. So it's yes or no, possibly a bit more. We're going to move pretty quickly here. Keith, have you chosen someone to pass on your skills to?
I've had several interns, and I used to teach, so I've probably passed my skills on to quite a few people.
Are you married?
No, I'm not.
Do you have children?
I do.
How many?
Beautiful little girl. She's 5 years old.
Wow.
I love her so much. She changed my life.
Sweet. Do you believe in God?
No, I don't.
Do you have an inner circle of friends?
Yes, I do. I have some of the best friends anybody could want.
Do you watch TV for more than 3 hours a day?
Nope, don't have the time.
How about 3 hours a week?
3 hours a week, yeah, probably.
What about screen time, the phone and or the computer? Is it more than 8 or less than 8 hours a day?
Oh boy, I'd have to say less than 8, but quite frequently. So it'll be a quick check here and there just to
Yeah,
see if there's anything important. But I'm generally, I'm working, so I can't spend time on the internet.
yeah, which is pretty cool for a guy who is in the video production world.
Yeah,
Hmm.
just check my emails and stuff like that to make sure I'm not missing anything important. But
Yeah. Keith, after 1001 conversations, as I was speaking before, in 3 months in 2016, I needed to get butt surgery, right? I had to do over my butt because I sat so long, right? No, I'm joking. I'm joking, Keith.
I was like, wait a minute.
Is this
I
the
was trying
same
to process
conversation? It's my joke. It's my joke. It's my joke. No, I actually created a workbook, and the name of it is called Yours. It stands for Your Own Unique Real Self. And the idea is that you answer questions that then uncover your own unique real statement, which are aligned with your mission statement. If you had to share with us your own unique real statement, a statement that represents who you are, Keith, what would you say that is?
It's funny. I think it's the thing I put in my high school yearbook. If you're gonna do something, do it right, or just don't bother. Don't do
Wow.
it at all.
Wow.
You put the highest level of effort into it, or just walk away.
Yeah. Love it. Keith, this was a great pleasure. Before you leave, is there anything else you'd like to share with our amazing audience?
I would just like to thank you, Angel, for reaching out to me on LinkedIn, and inviting me to be part of this cool world record setting podcast adventure you're on.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
it's awesome, and it was great talking to you.
I appreciate it. Great talking to you as well. Keith Larsen, thank you for being on what is inspired by 12-minute Convos with Angel Jones.
Thank you, Angel.
Thank you for being on 12-minute Convos with Angel Jones. Stay tuned for more from our advertisers.
Diabetes is a mountain pandemic. It's a disease that's not acute but chronic. Similar to this rhyming method, I have simplified the definition, the signs and symptoms, and the complications of diabetes for both adults and children in my books, Poems for Patients, A Focus on Diabetes, and The ABCs of Diabetes for Children. These books are available on Amazon.com, and for more information, you can visit my website, poemsbyaj.com. That's poemsbyaj.com.